Hello there. Today I'll be reading you the book Last Stop on Market Street. Words are by Matt de la Peña and pictures are by Christian Robinson. That's a nice book cover. A lot of colorful images, and it looks like we have a grandma walking her little boy to the bus. So let's get started. For Luna and her two grandmas, Roni and Grace, that's from Matt de la Peña, and for Nana by Christian. So these are the people they're dedicating this book to. And there's some good illustration here of a car and a bike riding up the hill. Another cool illustration of a red and blue car and some nice city buildings in the background. I live in the city as well, so this looks really familiar actually. CJ pushed through the church doors and skipped down the steps. So there you see him there in his yellow sweater, skipping down the church steps with some folks around. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. Oh, wow. So it's raining outside today. You can see the lady with her umbrella, and it looks like CJ is getting a little wet. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we got to wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but never saw a straw. So Nana is, telling him that trees also get thirsty and sometimes rain is necessary for them to live. There's Nana holding a red umbrella for CJ, so he doesn't have to get wet in the rain. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals. He watched rain patter against the windscreen of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. He said, "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" And there they are at the bus stop, him and his Nana waiting in the rain. And they're asking, he's asking why they don't have a car as he sees his friends ride off here in the blue car. "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged and the door swung open. So Nana and CJ are getting into the bus now, where they'll see old Mr. Dennis, who I'm sure we'll meet very soon. And there's the bus again. You see CJ getting on. Again, I live in the city, and my family and I ride the public transportation a lot. We take the subway a lot, and it's really nice to kind of see the sights and get around on public transportation, get around the city and intermingle with the rest of the community. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear and placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. So he pulled the trick out. You can see there the bus driver has the coin in his hand, and he did a trick for CJ and pulled a coin from behind his ear. So you can see that they're friends and they know each other very well. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure CJ did the same. So a lot of fun, cool things happening on the bus. There's a guy playing the guitar which I really like. Music. They had butterflies in a jar from an old woman across from the seat there. I don't think they're seeing that on the car, in the car that is CJ's friend is in right now. So that's pretty neat. The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knitted. How come we always get to go here after church? CJ said. Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere. So CJ is a little disappointed that they're going somewhere else after church. I feel sorry for those boys, she told him. They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglass man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat. CJ stared out of the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side and watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. Well, that sounds pretty fun. So you can see that CJ's, again, seeing a lot of cool stuff and a lot of culture happening in the city that he lives in just by riding the bus, meeting a lot of cool people as well. So pretty cool. And you can see the guy that Nana's talking to has some neat tattoos and some cool art while holding her butterflies. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. How come that man can't see? Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. So you can see this man here with the glasses, and the dog is actually blind and he can't see and he can only hear. So he has a dog helping him, which is pretty cool. And actually he has heightened senses in his ear because some of your other senses get better if you lose the ability to use some other senses. So he is about to listen to some music here. That's a fact. Their noses too. The man said, sniffing at the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Ha 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 ha. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in the back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana set down her knitting. What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song? So CJ, sees a kid with the iPod and he's listening to music. But Nana's saying, hey, wait a second. You have a man with a guitar sitting right across from you. Let's listen to, let's see if he'll play a song for us. CJ didn't have to ask. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. He said, to feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered. I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. So right now everyone is just closing their eyes and listening to the music, which I like to do as well. It helps you focus on the music that you're listening to, and it can be very relaxing. You can see CJ here is enjoying himself quite a bit in his yellow sweater. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves. He saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky. He saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. It's a very nice thing for CJ to do. Whenever someone is out, playing music or doing an activity in the street for other people's entertainment, it's always very nice to tip them and show some appreciation for what they're doing for the community. So that's very nice of CJ. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called the bus driver. So here, Mr. Dennis is letting Nana and CJ off the bus onto Market Street. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling pavements and broken down doors, graffiti tag windows and boarded up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. He said, "How come it's always so dirty over here?" So sometimes it happens in cities. Cities are always developing, and sometimes there's graffiti art, which can be really cool, actually. And sometimes there's some broken down homes and doors, but that's just part of city living and the community. And I think those things add to the culture and what makes a city interesting. She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. So the perfect rainbow was arcing over their soup kitchen, and he was able to find some beauty in the city, which is a good thing to do. Here we see people in line for the soup kitchen. And what's that animal right there? It looks like a doggy in the man's cart as they're waiting in line. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now come on." And so they went inside for something to eat. You can see they're hanging with everybody in their community, eating some lunch or some dinner at the soup kitchen.